Hi, Sam here from Subaru Australia, and thanks for joining us again on our Between Services videos. In this episode, I'm going to show you what you do when you happen to come across a deflated tyre on your Subaru. Having a deflated tyre is at best an inconvenience, but if you're driving when this occurs, it could be dangerous. You may notice a sudden change in the handling and the stability of the car. And if that's the case, here's my advice. Never ever brake suddenly. Always try and drive mostly straight ahead and slow the vehicle speed gradually. Pull off the road safely and out of harm's way on a flat, level surface. Turn on your hazard lights and engage the parking brake. Select neutral gear in a manual or engage park in an automatic and turn off the engine. Before you get out of the car, be sure to check it's safe to do so and do a walk-around inspection of the vehicle. In this case, it's the front right that's flat, so we need to change the tyre. When we're doing that, the original jacking equipment is the best tool for the job. We do need to chock the other wheels while we jack up the car, and here's where we need to get a little bit ingenious. I'm going to use these blocks, but if I was on the side of the road, I'd probably try and find a couple of rocks to chock the rear wheel with. Once we've done that, we need to make sure the occupants are out of the car. So get the family out, but make sure they're in a nice safe location away from the road. And when the car's jacked up, don't go putting your body parts underneath while it's supported by the jack. How do we access the tools for this? Well, we open the tailgate or the boot and we get the jack, the handle, the tyre wrench and the spare wheel. So now I've got all the tools and the spare wheel out of the boot. I've chocked the diagonally opposite wheel like it tells me to in the owner's manual. First thing I need to do is loosen the wheel nuts. So at this point I'm not actually undoing the nuts, I'm just loosening them. And now I've done that, we'll install the jack under the sill, but please refer to your owner's manual for the correct location. And then we can jack up the car. So normally I'd raise the vehicle up about 40 or 50 mil above where the tyre sits, just so I've got enough room to fit the new tyre on. Now we just remove the wheel nuts, take the wheel off the car, put the new one on. Just be careful when you're doing this though, as these wheel nuts could be hot after driving the car. So now an important step is to check if there's any debris on the wheel hub, but before we do that, these are all brake components and they're likely to be hot if you've been driving the car. So while you're inspecting that, please don't touch them. If this area is all clean, we'll install the new wheel. And then the wheel nuts by hand and tighten them up with the wrench. Once you've done that, then we'll lower the car down off the jack and then re-tension the wheel nuts using the wrench correctly. Now we've done that, we just need to put all this gear in the boot of the car in its correct location. When you've got the next opportunity, call into your Subaru service centre to not only get the tyre replaced, but also have your wheel nuts checked by a technician using the correct equipment. Don't forget, if you don't have a full-size spare like this car and you've got a temporary spare, you need to pay particular attention to the revised speed limit.